Bethlehem and Richmond want to play, but as you can tell, Mother Nature might have other plans in store in Pennsylvania. We are in an official weather delay. The rather ominous-looking sky provides us with a chance to sit back and think about where the nearest place to take shelter might be. And fans are being encouraged, including, by the way, all of our camera operators. Nobody's allowed in the stadium because the lightning is looking bad as we take a look at the radar so you can see what's coming. It is heading quickly our direction. So we are not going to start on time today in Bethlehem at Lehigh University, but the hope is that we'll be able to kick off at 5:35. That's the latest information we can share with you. As soon as we have any additional information, we'll bring that your way. But for now, we're going to step aside because we need to make sure that we can all stay safe as well. So Bethlehem and Richmond coming up here hopefully soon. More updates to come along the way.
Can you feel it? That vibe. It's here on America's best beaches. Feel it in unique mashups of amazing, crazy, and wow. So within every moment, you live amplified. St. Pete Clearwater, solar powered and radiating 1,000,000 megawatts of possibility. Dive in deeper at liveamplified.com.
This summer, plan a getaway to Hershey Park and enjoy more than 70 rides, including 13 coasters and 14 water attractions. Plus, take advantage of free Hershey Park benefits, like 1-hour early ride access when you stay over at the official resorts of Hershey Park. Plus, if you go to Service Electric's website, sectv.com, and click on the link and like us on Facebook, you'll be entered to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Hershey Park. But you better hurry since this promotion is only available until July 15th. Hershey Park and Service Electric, teaming up to bring you the best summer ever.
The first soccer ball was kicked in Bethlehem in 1904. Now, 112 years later, it's time for the rebirth of Bethlehem Steel FC. Herbert's in the box, and there's the first goal in Steel FC history. For tickets, visit BethlehemSteelFC.com or call 844-STEEL-FC.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Well, we're live from Goodman Stadium in Allentown, Pennsylvania, or I should say just outside Allentown, Pennsylvania. And unfortunately, we're just a hair earlier than we expected, but we're ready to go because of some awful weather we had a couple of hours ago. This is Bethlehem Steel and Richmond Kickers here in the United Soccer League. I'm Brendan Gulick along with Mark Serber. It's been a crazy afternoon in eastern PA. If you followed at all the weather system that's gone through, it looked like Armageddon 2 hours ago. And believe me, the field took on a lot of water, but it has drained well. And those fans that are still in attendance here in Bethlehem have stuck out some nasty weather. And so we will play after all today. There are no lights, by the way, as a reminder, in the stadium. So with that in mind, we will be chasing darkness all night as well. But, Mark, we should be able to get in the game in regulation, provided nothing crazy happens between now and about 8:35 when the sun is scheduled to set in eastern PA. And it's a matchup today between two teams who are kind of trending in opposite directions right now. Bethlehem, one of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference. Richmond hasn't won a game in their last 10.
Yeah, and one of the things is you almost want to throw all that out the window, because the fact of the matter is it's which team responds better to the adversity of having to have all these stop-starts of, are we going to play, are we not going to play? Okay, let's go out and get warm-ups, let's get hyped for the game. Oh, wait, now we have to go back in for another hour. But it'll be a really interesting game, too, because these teams that are on these long losing runs, you almost never want to face them because you don't want to be the team that they catch to get that first win. But this is a Bethlehem Steel side, through this first 1 minute, 2 minutes, has done a very good job of possessing the ball and put Richmond on their heels. But at the moment, Richmond looks like they're finally getting under some semblance of control with this free kick in the back.
Bethlehem in navy, Richmond in white. And we are off and running here at Goodman Stadium. Bethlehem enters the game 7-6-1. A look at their starting lineups shortly. Here are the power rankings in the USL, or at least for a second as we get a foul call. The lineup for Bethlehem Steel features a couple of really impressive guys up top. You're looking at one of them there, Corey Burke, who will be playing for the Jamaican national team in Gold Cup not long from now. Sekou Kone, one of the top goal scorers in the league, is at the top of the formation as a striker.
And those two players combine so well with each other.
Controlled for just a moment and then given away in the midfield. Richmond has an opportunity on the far side as they race away.
Richmond, without Chris Durkin for today, suspended for accumulation of yellow cards, but he's been so impressive this season.
By the way, look at all the water that was popping up on that cross. You can see all of the splashing on the far side of the field, so it will be a wet afternoon, even though we did see most of the field drain pretty well.
A tremendous cross, too.
It's tremendous for sure.
The fact of the matter is to get that cross off and have it be of that sort of quality is one thing. To do it when you have to drive your foot through 5 feet of water is completely other.
Richmond not only struggling overall, but struggling on the road. And they are in the middle now of a road trip that sees them with Bethlehem and Cincinnati in back-to-back games. And those are daunting challenges as we get a foul that sends play the other direction. I don't think there's a team hotter in America right now than FC Cincinnati. We'll take a look at the Richmond starting lineup, though, before we dive into that. Matt Turner in goal, a couple of clean sheets on the year. They're going to need him to play well today because Richmond has scored 9 goals this season.
And it's up to Connor Shinosky in front of him to lead that back line and make sure that they're organized. And up top, the man on the ball right now, Frank Tayu, has been so good last season with San Antonio and coming in with Richmond, scoring the goal of the week in his first week with the club. And he's making himself into an indoor legend as well. Has played in Mexico, a team called Solis de Sonora, and is the 2-time MVP in the Major Arena Soccer League. Has been leading scorer the last 2 years too. And it takes a lot to translate one game from indoors to outdoors, but he's been able to do it over the last few years. It's been very impressive to watch.
One of the things I really like about him is just his sheer size and his explosiveness. He's so good at the top of the formation. We'll see how his game translates here in the USL. 6th minute of play upon us. No score here as we get underway. A couple of opportunities early on, but nothing to really write home about quite yet. Maybe something mounting, though, for Bethlehem Steel. And a poor takedown from behind leads to a free kick. Foul goes on Fred Owusu-Sakiri.
I think the word poor was apropos there because he's running 1-on-4. There's absolutely no reason to bring him down there.
A look at Bethlehem Steel starting lineup. We talked about Kone and Burke up front, but Fabian Herbers out on the right side is also a really good player. Chris Nenko, you can count on him to be a pretty impactful player too.
And Austin Trusty, a member of that U20 side that went to the quarterfinals for the USA earlier this summer. So I'm sure that the Bethlehem Steel are happy to have him back.
Sekou Kone standing over the ball momentarily. Everybody lining up across the top of the 18.
And this is one of those where even though it's far out, why not have a hit and try and get it to bounce in front of the keeper and see how he deals with the skip.
It's Kone ripping one on net, and it's just wide right. Deflected away and a corner kick coming.
That was a tremendous save getting across, and he's saying, you know what, I don't need to worry about skipping it off the turf. I can get it in from that distance, and very nearly did. Great save by the keeper.
Adam Nauseum heading over to take the corner kick, the former Akron Zip. Another look coming here of the bomb free kick. In just a moment. Nauseum low and into the middle, and that one was headed away. Possession stays down here again. Because the field is so damp, a ball that is rolling away is going to slow down a lot more quickly. An open look for just a brief second at the top. A shot, and it struck high and wide.
Oh, excellent ball movement in the box. They're winning those battles, but they're also getting the knockdowns and players running through to get on the end of them. Richmond defense is not only going to have to win that first ball, but worry about the second ball. This is a perfect layoff for Herbers, and he in turn lays it off too. And that shot going just over, but Bethlehem certainly dictating the tone early on in this one.
Boy, Matt Turner can feel his pulse beating in his throat with a couple of open looks he just had to take on there, and Richmond is already playing on their heels.
You have a player like Herbers who's so good coming inside, but he's also very dangerous down the wing. A player like Nauseum as well, so skilled. Was with the Philadelphia Union during preseason, played in the Suncoast Invitational. This is another player that you expect him to be shuttling back and forth between Bethlehem and Philadelphia this season.
Nauseum one steps over the ball, working alongside Samuel Asante, his opponent, in the midfield. You know, if you're Richmond, with the way things have gone lately as the offside flag goes up, the way things have gone lately for Richmond, you wonder how much more lenient they will be on the offensive side and how much more willing they'll be to just take some chances. Things haven't gone well. They, as a team, folks, they haven't won a game since April 22nd against Pittsburgh. 10 consecutive non-winning matches for the Richmond Kickers, and this is a proud franchise, and things just haven't gone well lately, so they need somebody to step up offensively. At the moment, Corey Burke lays it back. Brian Carroll touches forward to Fontana.
Carroll spent some time with the Richmond Kickers on loan from DC United, I believe all the way back in 2003.
It looked like Bethlehem had something moving in their favor there, and then nothing came of it but a quick turnover, and they've taken the ball back into the corner. Boy, it is so splashy and wet in that corner. A ball played across and deflected out. Look at that. The ball just flat out dies in the puddle over there for a corner kick. My goodness.
You now have extra motivation to score because you can celebrate by sliding head first.
I was thinking more along the lines of maybe a little bit of trepidation here and there. Guys not running quite as hard in the fear of injuring their lower halves. Certainly don't want to come up with a knee or a hamstring injury. Nauseum plays it in toward the middle. That was one headed by Bethlehem. A quick shot deflected over the top of the net. Boy, Bethlehem is just peppering the goal right now. Matt Turner is having a really tough time.
Well, Turner had that covered all the way, did well to get his positioning right and then palm that one over the bar, but this is a perfect volley, excellently hit, and he gets his knee over the ball as he strikes it, and that's what gets that dip in time to force Turner into that save. Perfect technique, and unlucky not to find the game's opening goal, but you kind of get the feeling that it's coming.
Bethlehem Steel looking for something big early. Nauseum with the right foot. And it's popped away, throw in coming.
This is one of those games where if you have any experience playing beach soccer, that might come into play. Have to get that ball off the field and move it along that way, kind of up in the air almost.
Matthew Real working with Fontana. Fontana wants to give and go. He gets it right back. And he's pushed down in the box. No call. A foul instead whistled against Steel FC. And Bethlehem left shaking their head maybe at the end of a situation that certainly looked like a goal could come.
Well, it's certainly a reprieve for the Richmond Kickers, a chance to get the ball forward and give this back line a breather. Done well, though. They've certainly bent but haven't broke yet, and much of that credit goes to this man, Turner, with some key saves.
Turner really lays into one, and they work it back in goal the other direction. By the way, in case you're wondering, since we did tell you how poor the weather was earlier, partly cloudy skies currently overhead, 72 degrees at opening kick about 11 minutes ago.
Well, it's one of those summer days where it's really hot and sticky, and you have to endure that thunderstorm, but then you're thankful for it afterwards because you finally get that fresh, cool air.
The humidity can be overwhelming sometimes, but a long, thin band of thunderstorms. If you look at the radar, it was more red and yellow than green. And it's about to rip through Philadelphia, Newark, and New York City here in the next probably hour or so. Steel FC plays it ahead as Corey Burke, the Jamaican national, goes to work. One touch into the middle. Fontana did not find Sekou Kone. We've seen some poor touches in the midfield, but Bethlehem Steel has definitely controlled possession far more often here early in the game, and that puts Richmond in an uncomfortable situation. Too much we've seen them on their heels throughout the course of this difficult couple of months. It's now been 2 months without a win. It just doesn't sit well. It's not for a lack of effort.
Well, it's one of those things where if you're Lee Collishaw, and something we touched on earlier, but then Bethlehem Steel went into an attack, is that, you know, when you've gone 10 games like this, you just throw caution into the wind. You have nothing to lose, so you just go for it. So that's one of the things. I think if Richmond can get the ball and get some possession, they're going to go forward like they're the home team.
Looking for Nauseum in the middle, another turnover. Richmond hanging in there as best they can with Braden Troyer, Melvin Roberts, Connor Shensky, and Alex Lee across the back. Speaking of excellent efforts, how about Aaron Jones there saving the day on the far side of the field with a great tackle.
Well, Jones, a very good defender who knows when to come over and cover, and he came across there necessarily so.
Richmond on the offensive, a left-footed shot. Well, too tall. The Kickers were arguing that it was deflected out, but the official says not this time. By the way, our referee is Andrew Mouche. Jake Mcguire.
So just a .9 goals against average and 4 clean sheets on the season. Big reason why the Steel are on this 5-match unbeaten run.
Burke lays it off. A left-footed touch into the middle. Burke tried to keep it alive, but was well done by Owusu Sakiri. And Richmond's able to deflect the pressure for just a moment. Fred Owusu Sakiri is having to play a lot further back defensively in the formation than we expected to see from him. Ball's played forward to Tayu, and the new kicker can't find the consistent footing.
And that's where Tayu just needs to hold up the ball and wait for the cavalry to arrive. Needs to know who's around him and whether or not that flick's going to come off. They need him to relieve the pressure and give his side a bit of possession. So it's not always going to be about going forward as a target man. Sometimes it's just about holding it up and letting everybody refine their shape.
A foul as Sekou Kone tried to advance the ball forward. That was an easy call as Kone hit the ground pretty hard. Another look at it here.
It's a good job. Herbert's checking inside, and the defender is worried about that run on the inside, and that's what allows Sekou Kone to take the outside route and catches him with a nice little touch, and then is brought down, and now a chance to tease this one into the mix.
Brian Carroll there on the top of your screen with jersey number 7, wearing the captain's armband, coming down from the MLS side in Philadelphia. In the 17th minute, a free kick. Hard service toward the backside, but it went through untouched.
Well, excellent ball served in, and only one player to find there. Richmond did enough to get it away. At first, I thought it was too deep, but if they get ahead on that and they're able to put that back across goal, it could have been trouble.
I beg your pardon. Somebody from Richmond must have touched it, since Bethlehem has the throw in here down in the corner. Again, see how much that ball just dies as it rolls away slowly because of the overly saturated surface. Played toward Carroll in the middle. Defense closes down on him quickly and gets the ball out of a dangerous area.
What a leader for this Bethlehem Steel team to have in Brian Carroll for these young players. Knows everything about working your way up through the levels and what it takes to be a top pro, and just a great example and somebody who can be there and talk the younger players through times of adversity as well.
Among those younger players, Adam Nauseum, who's coming from a college program at Akron that just burst onto the national scene several years ago. He is one of several pros that Akron is happy to call alums. Nauseum in the middle, and too much on it.
He's upset with himself there, but in this 4-3-3, I love the interchanging position from these Bethlehem interior midfielders, and it's opening up that space on the wing for the outside backs to get forward.
Tayu lost his footing.
I think you might be saying that quite a bit tonight.
Bethlehem, at the moment, dominating the game just in terms of possession. More than 2-1 by the ratio. Bethlehem just kind of hanging around, waiting to see how things will go. A couple of poor volleys in the midfield. That was not nearly what Bethlehem had in mind. Oh, it was well pressed. Let's see what kind of sustained pressure Richmond can come up with after this early feeling out process. A chance now for Sonny Janae. Lays it off. Troyer back to Janae. Across to Samuel Asante. Lobs it forward. Nothing sticking right now for Richmond. Wasn't a bad idea, though, that whole trip.
Their best period of pressure, though. Hold the ball, connect about 10 or 11 passes, and just unable to find a way through. But did a good job in that first entry pass to break in between the lines and try and work from the inside out. However, the Steel did a good job to recover and regain their shape.
If you joined us late, we got a delayed start because of bad weather. Bethlehem trying to strike first, and it's just over the top of the bar.
Herbert's making the run in behind and hitting it well, just can't get it to dip in time. It's one of those where it bounces up off the turf, and that's why he hits it high rather than trying to blaze it low toward the far post. But that's what Herbert's can do. Getting in behind that back line, seeing the keeper coming out and trying to pop it over him.
Fabian Herbert's so close to putting Bethlehem Steel out in front at home. and putting Richmond again in a horribly difficult spot. Replay here after the foul. Nauseum initiates. Nauseum to the near side.
And good pressure to win that ball back from the steal.
I like the way Bethlehem, even when they give up possession, they keep themselves in a position where Richmond can't immediately feel like they can mount something.
And it all starts with defending from the front. The forwards are dictating everything that the two lines behind them do. And so they're shielding them over to one side, and everybody else is squeezing in, and they've been able to win the ball high up the field. And now, though, they're going to be on the back foot.
Well, it's up to Tayu to finally start earning his keep here this afternoon. A poor cross from side to side gives the ball back to the men in Navy. Sekou Kone too strong off his chest, and he loses it.
This time, though, Tayu did a better job of realizing that there was nobody else around him, so he held it up and waited for the cavalry to arrive. And Richmond, it was a bad ball after it come back across, but something could have started off that attack.
Connor Shinosky, you just saw him head one there defensively. He is a big presence in the middle of that back defensive line. A takedown, no whistle. Maybe something here. Kind of chipped around a little bit, harmlessly rolled toward the corner, and a corner kick coming. I think maybe Raul Gonzalez hoped he would have a better look at it. Now he'll race after it to take the corner kick.
You almost need a squeegee to clear out that little corner circle.
The field is completely soaked.
They've had some good crosses here, though, from this side, and now you get a free run from the corner. Have to beat that first defender.
Gonzalez headed high into the air, still in a dangerous place. He holds off pressure, serves it back to the backside, and on one bounce, a foul whistled. Mullen Roberts has to give it away. Roberts, a Canadian, played for FC Edmonton. And his first cap for his country back in 2015. Probably appropriate to wish him happy Canada Day.
Was just about to say.
I know our good friend Lee Godfrey has been asking for those all day.
Been watching action from a bunch of different leagues throughout the day, and a lot of players at the end of the game are taking Canadian flags and wrapping them around themselves afterward to celebrate Canada Day.
Oh, a whistle stops Bethlehem Steel's dead to rights run at the net. Fabian Herbers, you can see it in his body language, he's infuriated.
He almost pulled his hair out there.
The head official trying to offer an explanation. He holds up play for a moment. Here it comes. Another look at it.
Well, Herbert's in his second year out of Creighton. Oh, he gets all ball there. I think he has every right to be upset. To be honest, I'm not really sure what the referee saw in that.
Well, I'm not sure either. That's the best way to say it. I certainly thought it was a clean takeaway. I'll side with Herbers on that one. Scoreless into the 25th minute. More than halfway through this first half. Again, still chasing daylight. If you joined us late, we got underway just about 6:35 here this evening after a delay of just over more than an hour and a half because of a nasty thunderstorm that went through eastern PA. Definitely starting to show signs, though, of being 7 o'clock at night and partly cloudy. It is beginning to get a little darker outside. Richmond to the near side.
I'll tell you, you got to give credit to these fans. Those bleachers cannot be dry.
Oh, no, they can't be. And you know what? There was a good number of them that stuck around given the conditions. They certainly wanted to see the game tonight. Look at all the splashing around in the corner. Unbelievable. Chipped high into the box. And headed down for a moment. Everybody overran it. Back to Asante. Tough takedown. Play on, says the official. Corey Burke touches it over. Kone wants Herbers on a dead sprint. Wow, no whistle, and Herbers is feeling victimized at the moment. That's twice in the same spot on the field that he's had calls go against him. It turns into a counter for Richmond. And I can't imagine that's how the Kickers hoped that would end.
Well, Richmond's working the ball into some good positions, but they're just not making good decisions once they get into the final third. First, that shot tamely rolled in, but before that, Asante Samuel had the ball in a good spot, and 4 players were waiting for the ball right at the top of the box to be served in. 1 or 2 of them has to come over. Somebody needs to check in. Another player needs to provide width, and that way you can start to open up the defense. And Asante didn't even have a chance to serve it in, got it taken off his foot.
Burke can't split 2 defenders. Quickly throws it back in.
Well, I like the way, even on this field, that Bethlehem Steel are moving this ball, quick passes, finding open players, players checking in and out of the space as well, and they're using the width too.
Herbers. Nifty move, top of the box, a takedown, and no whistle. Herbers cannot believe it. And the Boo Birds are out in the wet bleachers.
Well, that's a Herbers hat trick by the referee. 3 calls that he hasn't given to him.
Nauseum, great footwork. And the 1-2 pass sets Herbers up. Aaron Jones here. He loses his footing, and a foul is whistled.
And Jones, another young player that Bethlehem Steel believes has a very bright future.
Fans, stay up to date with the latest on USL news and information from all around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Don't forget, they'll air the game of the week as well. You can check out all the dates and times on uslsoccer.com. Bethlehem with a big opportunity. Aaron Jones will take the free kick. Aaron Jones has been in the Philadelphia Union system for a long time. Right foots it to the top of the box. Floating deeper. Still in trouble. Herbers trying to hold off Owusu Sakiri. Ball stays in play, sloshing around in the corner and finally out of danger.
Well, Herbers and Burke ran into each other going for that ball at the top of the box. Something a bit cleaner, and one of them would have been able to get a shot off. Instead, it's going to come all the way back, and they'll build out of their defense.
Saturday night soccer in the USL featuring 2 teams today that are moving in opposite directions. Bethlehem among the hottest teams in the league. Richmond right now begging for a win. 0-5-5 in their last 10. Bethlehem has 4 wins and a draw over their last 5 games. Crossfield pass looking for Real, and it's knocked away.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL.
Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, please visit NikeSoccer.com.
Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL game of the week.
Had a great game out on the West Coast last night. At least it was on paper. Phoenix and Reno squared off against each other. And that's a couple of teams in the other conference that I think fans of the USL will want to keep their eye on because of all the star power on those 2 teams. You've got Dane Kelly, the all-time leading goal scorer in the USL, playing up front for Reno, the expansion team, who's had a great year. And, of course, Didier Drogba and all that he's accomplished in a star-studded lineup down in the desert.
And on top of that, you have Sean Wright-Phillips and Bravo joining him as well. So that's an incredible squad that's been put together by Phoenix. And last night, both defenses were the stars of the show. A lot of firepower up top as well.
Since Patrice Carteron took over the team as the head coach, and coincidentally, it was the same time that Didier Drogba debuted back on the 10th of June. 4 games. Phoenix won in that very first game in their debut, and 3 consecutive draws from that point forward. The middle 3, or I should say the middle of those 3, came against the top team in the Western Conference, and Real Monarchs SLC. That's a team that I think just about everybody across the league is trying to figure out, how in the world do we beat them? Them and San Antonio have both had unbelievably successful seasons. There's a lot more parity in the 3 through 10 spots in the Western Conference standings than you've got up top. Meanwhile, in the East, Bethlehem is firmly in playoff position right now. This is week 15 of 30 in the USL schedule, so we're exactly halfway through in that regard. Bethlehem trying to get on the board first here at home. Connecting on several close passes. Corey Burke gives it up. That was a poor tackle. Brian Carroll didn't really make a play on the ball, and so the whistle blows.
And Carroll's a fun player to watch because not only does he sit in front of that back 4 and spray the ball around, but he'll go very deep back to receive that ball to get it in order to start the attack. And he also can get forward to great effect as well. He's in his 14th year as a professional, Carroll. And to have a player like that who's been through the ups and downs to really just be a player that can lead by example and knows what it takes to be a pro. And you can watch him and talk to him and ask him questions. Very approachable guy. Comes from a family where at one point all 3 brothers were playing professionally.
Bethlehem back into the deep end. We did have a substitute, by the way, come on. Hugh Roberts took Chris Nanko's spot. Chris Nanko was not originally scheduled to start this game, but I imagine that they changed the lineup during the rain delay, and Hugh Roberts has now come on.
Well,
offside flag a little bit late going up, but duly deserved.
Richmond has had some good possession at times, but you want to see a bit more intent. It feels a little bit wayward, moving the ball around, but not really looking to make a run in behind.
We're in the 34th minute. Bethlehem and Richmond both looking for the opening goal. It rolls out of bounds along the sideline. Bethlehem has easily outpossessed Richmond in the first half, but nothing to show for their efforts yet. Sekou Kone couldn't quite slip through into the open space in the middle. Kone just getting back to his feet. You can see the sunshine just starting to peek through. A rip from deep, and it's not nearly on target from Brian Carroll. Well, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com or following the league on Twitter @USL. It is easily your biggest hub for all the information all across the league. Lots of great feature stories, an easy way to follow the standings and schedules with teams playing not just on the weekends, but during the course of the week as well. And, of course, coverage of the USL Game of the Week, which will air nationally. Bethlehem connecting on lots of little quick passes. But can they come up with a big strike at home? Right now, the fans who sat through an hour-and-a-half rain delay and maybe got here before the originally scheduled 5 o'clock kick haven't had a whole lot to cheer about.
Well, they're connecting on 85% of their passes at the moment, but they need to be moving the ball quicker.
Tremendous move by Janae, but he let go of the ball from 25 yards away.
Well, he had the space, and the back line of Bethlehem Steel was backing off, inviting him to shoot. But it felt like he could have taken a few more steps before he let that one go or looked to slide in Frank Tayu.
Well, Richmond is doing everything they can to keep this one out of their end defensively, but that's where the majority of this game's been played so far. As the sunshine and shadows kind of pick up back and forth. Here's a big opportunity for Real. He dumps it off. Corey Burke with numbers. Lets one go, and he just missed upper left. Oh my goodness, Corey Burke had a wide open look.
It looked to me like it hit off Real running through. And take a look on this replay. It's a great ball in, and you could see Burke setting himself up, trying to curl it toward the upper corner, and almost went in off of Real. That would have been the best deflection goal ever coming off of Anthony Fontana. So Fontana making the run through, but the intention was to go for that far upper corner, and Fontana unfortunately getting in Burke's way. It
Definitely
hits off his shoulder.
off his shoulder.
If that goes in, Fontana's going to tell you he meant to do that.
Excellent work by our production team to pick that up, and good eyes for you. I definitely didn't catch it. I just saw Corey Burke wind up, and usually when you see a player of his caliber get ready to rip a shot, more often than not, it finds the back of the net. Instead, now Richmond has an opportunity to set something up and put together a service in their offensive third. Raul Gonzalez making his 9th start of the year today. He's got a goal and an assist on the season.
Gonzalez is going to look to drive this one toward the penalty spot.
Lets it go low. Everybody coming out to it. A little collision, and the whistle blows. Jake Mcguire definitely had a clean look at it, and I think he was bumped off his line, so
Soccer fans, Nike is an
the whistle was blown by our head official.
Mcguire did so well to come out, call off all comers, a real boss in his area, climbing the ladder highest to take that ball and take away any threat. Was placed right toward the penalty spot, but when you hang it up in the air like that, it's usually going to be the keeper's ball. You have to drive it in a bit more lower with a bit more power behind it.
How important is it to have a keeper who is just playing at the top of his game when you're stringing together a nice streak of wins and draws?
It's incredibly important because the confidence oozes throughout the rest of the team, and you know that you're able to take a few more risks knowing that you're comfortable in your keeper and what he's capable of behind you. And as a keeper gets more confident, he's going to be more vocal with his back line, so they become better organizers.
Well, Bethlehem and Richmond have both relied heavily on their keepers in the first half, though admittedly Matt Turner's probably been more tested than Jake Mcguire. Lobbed up ahead toward the corner. Great closing speed by Bethlehem defensively. Austin Trusty with a little friendly love tap to his opponent. Nike's an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, please visit NikeSoccer.com. Mcguire's been able to balance patience with his defense and is urged to just get things moving because they've had their foot on Richmond's throat right from the outset. That was a really nice, clean tackle by Trusty, but it turns into a bad situation. Some good footwork and an open opportunity and a goal. The Richmond Kickers strike first. It's Luis Fernando. 1-0 Richmond.
The counterattack just so deadly. Win the ball high up the field, and Fernando making that run in from the flank. was a poor back pass and a great job to pick up his head and play that ball through. Perfectly weighted and an excellent one-touch finish as well. Appealing for offside, but in vain. And that's how quickly this game can change. And you know, even though that Richmond was put under pressure right away, they did an excellent job, pardon this cliche, to weather the storm and find that opportunity to break.
After Austin Trusty made such a nice sliding tackle, you're right, he just didn't make a well-executed pass. And it found Sonny Janae literally sprinting ahead in rhythm.
And Janae did so well to pick his head up. We've seen a few counterattacks earlier where Richmond were running at the defense and they took shots from about 25 yards out. This time, Janae picks his head up, sees the run, and slides it through. And a perfectly weighted ball for Luis Fernando, something very hard to do on this wet surface.
Even though this is his 10th start, just his first goal of the season. USL, one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, with the game's top talent and rising stars. Follow them on Twitter at USL or on their website, uslsoccer.com.
Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL game of the week.
So Richmond played on their heels the entire first half, but right now on the heels of Luis Fernando have a 1-0 lead. Fabian Herbers probably feeling like Bethlehem should at least be on the board. Maybe they will. Corey Burke touches to the middle and a beautiful diving save by Matt Turner. Oh my goodness.
Well, the idea is there to put that ball into the corner first time, but has to be hit with more power. Turner bailed out in the end, trying to play out of the back. Well read by Burke, and a great layoff.
Anthony Fontana just couldn't find Twine, and Matt Turner saves Richmond's life here late in the first half. How devastating that would have been for the Kickers, given their recent string of losses. Last thing you want to do is give up a goal right after you finally score first on the road. Turner comes up with probably the biggest play of the game so far, even considering that quick counterattack goal. But maybe Bethlehem can answer prior to the intermission.
And one thing they've done in these last 5 minutes is they're starting to be more direct, getting the ball forward a bit quicker rather than playing it on the ground through midfield.
In a dangerous spot. Played into the corner and deflected out of bounds by Hugh Roberts. Fans, we hope you'll stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from all around the league by tuning in to our weekly show, USL Coast to Coast, with Mike Watts on Monday nights at 9 p.m. You can hear it on Sirius XM FC, channel 85. Don't forget that they'll also air the game of the week on uslsoccer.com. You can check out the dates and times. Volleyed around through the air, another opportunity. Beautiful touch forward, and Richmond with a 2-0 lead, but the flag goes up. Oh my goodness, just at the last second. The Kickers thought they stole one on the road.
Another beautiful ball played through. Gonzalez left the starting gates just a bit too early. The Richmond's decision-making in the last 10 minutes has just gotten so much better. Well, if he is offside, it's by a hair. Almost timed his run to perfection, Gonzalez. But just knowing exactly what's going to happen. The minute that ball's intercepted, he takes off, and another perfect ball slipped through. This is a Bethlehem back line that's not used to being breached, but they're getting carved open here.
Alex Lee touches toward the middle. Bethlehem down a goal. Hard foul at the midfield stripe. Nanko pops back up. I admit I thought he had checked out of the game via substitution, but Nanko apparently still out there playing. Another look at this nasty shot up top. Took an elbow to the chin from Braden Troyer.
You have to wonder how that's not a card. Troyer obviously knew that he was beaten. He said, the ball's going to get by me, but not the man. That's a very tactical foul.
Aaron Jones plays it forward, headed toward the net, and picked up. And there's your halftime whistle. No stoppage time added in the first period. Bethlehem gives up the early goal in this game. Richmond with a 1-0 lead thanks to Luis Fernando. And it's the Kickers who have not won since April with a 1-0 lead going to the locker room.
Hey fans, if you're interested in free tickets to another Bethlehem Steel FC game or let's try that again, 4 free club level tickets to a Philadelphia.
In search, Burke put it home, and the Herbert's in search, Burke put it home, and the Union lead.
We've been the leader in cable TV since we invented it. Service Electric's founder, John Walson, invented cable TV right here in Pennsylvania. Service Electric continues to lead the way with ingenuity and innovation to bring the latest and greatest products and services to the Lehigh Valley.
The first soccer ball was kicked in Bethlehem in 1904. Now, 112 years later, it's time for the rebirth of Bethlehem Steel FC. Herbert's in the box, and there's the first goal in Steel FC history. For tickets, visit BethlehemSteelFC.com or call 844-STEEL-FC.
You've lived with it for too long. That recurring joint or muscle pain that makes everyday tasks a strain and repetitive movement almost impossible. Why put it off? The sooner you seek treatment, the more options you'll have. The faster you'll be back in full stride. The latest non-surgical solutions. The region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Take the game and Service Electric with you on your mobile device with TV Everywhere. Over 60 channels currently available, including TV2, and the list is growing. Use the Service Electric app or go to sectv.com for details.
Halftime at Goodman Stadium in Eastern PA with Richmond on the road with a lead for the first time since May 27th. On top of Bethlehem Steel, 1-0. Brendan Gulick and Mark Serber with you. A look at the halftime numbers after Luis Fernando's 40th minute goal, his first of the year, put Richmond on the board early.
Well, you need to look at the possession, and you see that the Richmond Kickers are playing this game to a T as the away side. Sit back, soak up the pressure, and look to hit on the break. They had one golden opportunity, and they took it. And still able to muster up 6 shots as well, but the Bethlehem Steel, if they come out in the second half the way they did in the first, then I think they would be able to find the equalizer. But so far, I think the Richmond Kickers have done a great job of managing this game.
And they were immeasurably close to having a 2-0 lead, but an offside call there at the end of the first half took away a second goal from Richmond, which is just tough to really tough to wrap your head around.
And Bethlehem's done a great job in this game of moving the ball around, 83% passing accuracy. And what I like about them is they not only have the ability to play short, quick combinations, but they also can stretch the field. So that ability to change things up will serve them well, especially in the second half if they need to go a bit more direct.
So Bethlehem trying to regroup, only down by 1, but they've got some things to adjust. This is an offensive-minded team that's been shut down so far by Matt Turner and company. Richmond 1, Bethlehem Steel nothing. Highlights coming around the corner here in Goodman Stadium.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
All good things must come to an end. The two top Western Conference teams experienced just that in Week 14 of the USL season. Real Monarchs made their mark in USL history with their 9th consecutive win on Monday night to start off the week where they would play 2 league games. Sebastian Velasquez played a key role in the win over Reno 1868, tallying the assist on both Monarchs' goals. But the streak would end Saturday night in Phoenix. After conceding early, Omar Bravo notched his first USL goal, finishing from inside the box after crisp passing from Matt Watson and Didier Drogba. The Real Monarchs remain unbeaten, though. In the last 10 games, they have a record of 12-1-1. Undefeated San Antonio also saw their run come to an end in front of a record crowd in Colorado Springs. 4,229 fans saw Sean McFarland get on the end of a Master-Cashier free kick right before half. That would prove to be the game winner. San Antonio now moves to 10-1-4 as both teams continue to sit atop the West. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Richmond 1, Bethlehem Steel nothing at halftime, with Steel FC trying to figure out how they can start to put some of these missed opportunities into the net. Way too many good opportunities in the first half that just didn't materialize.
Well, it's chance after chance after chance. You let a team hang around long enough, they're going to believe they can come in. But early on, the ball played across, headed back, and this is an excellent volley. Perfect technique, but a great save by the keeper.
And we just see these time after time again. I mean, another look at this one, but Fabian Herbers had a couple of takedowns along the far side that ended up being calls that didn't go his way. Here's a look at one of them. Herbers gets caught up. No foul called. He didn't like it. And unfortunately, there were a couple of those in this first half that prevented him from maybe starting a real big momentum swing.
Herbers has been heavily involved. And it's been play that's originated down this right-hand side for the Steel, and a great run into the box and bought down there, and I've seen referees point to the spot for less. That's a great run. The confidence to drive at the player and then snakes his way through two, and I'm not sure if the defender got the ball on that one. Could have gone either way. Didn't go the way of Herbers, and then a good steal and a counterattack, and Burke doing the right thing, setting himself up, trying to curl it to the corner, but it hits off of Fontana there as he's running through, and then all those chances at one end, you don't put them away, and it only takes one as this ball slipped through, and a great finish.
Unbelievable how the Bethlehem Steel line was able to defend so well for so long. Even though they gave up a goal, nearly had a chance to tie it when Burke lays it off, and Fontana just never touched it well.
Fontana had a chance to make amends for getting in the way of Burke's shot on that last one before the goal, and this time just didn't hit it. As Richmond trying to play out of the back and not very wise, and it was a great layoff from Burke for Fontana. In the end, just couldn't steer it toward the far post.
Turner thanking his lucky stars for the way his first half went. A clean sheet for him so far, and it is Richmond on top by a tally of 1-0. So we are going to get the second half underway a little more quickly than we anticipated, and I think that might have something to do with the fact that Mother Nature is bringing the sunset to our attention a little bit more quickly than we'd like to admit. It is 7:29 local time. The sun is due to set at 8:36 as we get underway. Hopefully we should be okay, and provided anything crazy, we will still have the sun in the sky, but because of the heavy clouds, you start to wonder if darkness may set in with a little bit, maybe earlier than it usually would.
I think it's worth mentioning, too. I'll get back to that in a second.
Big opportunity here early in the half, and a corner kick coming. Beg your pardon, a goal kick awarded. Boy, Sekou Kone certainly thought his team had earned a corner kick opportunity.
I have to mention that the top technological equipment, the best cameras, make it a lot lighter than it actually is, as this is a good ball played in, perhaps can be a bit further away from the keeper, and then just hit far of that near post. But another good opportunity for the Steel. They're going to make one of these count eventually as they continue to pepper that Richmond Kickers goal. And once again, the longer you go without converting your chances, the more likely it is you're going to be caught on the break. And if the away team can economize their chances the way Richmond has, could very well be up 2-0, then they could be in trouble to Steel. But if they keep creating these chances, eventually one of them should pay off.
Poor tackle on the far side sends Corey Burke down to the turf. Bethlehem Steel will set things up. It's definitely in enough of a range that they could put something together offensively here. Brian Carroll heads over. I would say he had a productive first half.
Well, Carroll's dictating the rhythm and tempo of this attack for Bethlehem Steel. It's up to him if he wants to hold on to the ball and settle things down, or find that pass quickly to get them going forward at pace.
Nauseum goes over along with Matthew Real. Left-footed ball played into the middle and headed clear by Fred Owusu-Sakiri for a corner.
Another opportunity to get players into the box, but Richmond have done a good job on these aerial battles.
Sun starting to peek through the clouds a little bit. If you did not catch all of the first half, our field is completely saturated, especially in the corners. Players are running around, the ball is running through puddles. You can see all of the splashing all over the place in those corners. They tried to attend to those a little bit at halftime, and it's made some minor improvements. We'll keep our eye on that as the game progresses. No illegal touch whistled. Play on and possession with Bethlehem Steel. Nauseum gets it over. This is Corey Burke. Actually, I beg your pardon, that's not Corey Burke. That's Sekou Kone with Burke and Roberts waiting in the box.
Good patience from the Steel here, nothing on, so they'll get the ball back and recycle their runs.
Burke has switched sides of the pitch. He was attacking up the left in the first half, now playing on the right. Not a bad idea for Steel FC, but a turnover. Nicely played ahead, and an open run. Still numbers for the defense. Fernando, poor pass back, and a bad giveaway. Bethlehem Steel FC, if you joined us late, a team that has played well lately, one of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference. You could make the argument that aside from FC Cincinnati, maybe Bethlehem Steel the hottest team in the East. Meanwhile, Richmond has just spiraled downward out of control, not winning a game in either May nor June. They have a 1-0 lead, though, for the first time since May 27th, in a game they eventually lost 5-3. Bethlehem Steel, not the kind of team that goes down without a fight. They lay one off in the middle. Fontana spins through, and the whistle finally comes. Owusu Sakiri not happy.
That's a free kick from a very dangerous position. Bethlehem Steel had one earlier from about 15 yards further back in the first half, and they were able to get an excellent shot on goal. This is a good combination play in tight spaces, and great turn and brought to ground by Owusu Sakiri.
He's arguing that the forward momentum carried him down. I think Owusu Sakiri may have had a little bit of an argument, but it goes the way of Bethlehem. Can they make amends for it? That is quite a wall being built up. Matt Turner has to try and see through it. Kone standing over it with Brian Carroll. Carroll rips it at the net. Top 90. 1-1 tie in the 52nd. Aaron Jones on the goal.
Well, sometimes when it's just not happening for you, a set piece is the best way to get back on song. And this one just perfectly placed over the wall, but then dipping back in time, and nothing Turner can do. That is a free kick of world-class skill from Aaron Jones. And you can't say they don't deserve it.
Aaron Jones with his first of the year. And it comes in a big way at home.
Well, that's one way to open your account.
I apologize. I thought Brian Carroll was standing over the ball with him. Carroll has taken a couple of free kick opportunities today, but that was Jones with Sekou Kone. What matters for Bethlehem is that they've come out in the opening 6 minutes of this second half and struck early to tie the game back up. Richmond deep into the penalty area. Nauseum pulls it away, and now the call goes against Richmond, where they got more of those in the first half. Both goals in this game coming from guys who had not scored prior to this game this year, as we get a whistle to stop play on the far side of the field. Corey Burke, Adam Nauseum both standing over there. And Sonny Genet is going to be booked. So Genet given a yellow in the 54th. And Richmond beginning to lose their cool a little bit.
And considering the run that Richmond has been on, very interesting to see how they respond after giving up that equalizer. It's been a tough day for both teams with the delays. And for Richmond, on this 10-game losing streak, to finally have their noses in front and then have it taken away on a free kick that Kickers fans are going to say is questionable. And like you said, they may have some argument.
Bethlehem Steel looking for an opportunity to just put Richmond away here quickly in this second half. Nauseum gives it away. Gets it back. Long play ahead. Burke heads it back to Kone. And Sekou poorly touched it, looking for Fontana.
Was headed out as the defender stepped into the passing lane, but Fontana making a nice run. It was a good job. Couple passes, bringing the defenders in, and then finding that outlet ball to open up space on the far side. So Fontana will take this corner kick. Going to be an outswinger from the near side.
Kickers exiting the game, number 10, Sonny Genet. Entering in his place, number 12, Finlay Wyatt.
Sonny Genet leaving the field at the moment, with Finlay Wyatt checking in his place.
You have to wonder if he's being bought off because of that yellow card, but Genet had that gorgeous assist, winning the ball off Austin Trusty and sliding it through for Fernando to open the scoring in the first half.
They will replay the corner here with Nauseum standing over it. Into the top of the box, a great look! How did Roberts miss-hit it that poorly? The goal looked too big.
He just leaned back as he shot it. Ball came on him on a flash. I think he was surprised to find it at his feet in that sort of space.
Roberts just not used to seeing those kinds of opportunities get away from him. That one might haunt him. In the meantime, Fernando scored early. Now he lays it off to Tayu. Frank Tayu held off, and we have a corner kick. Richmond with a chance to strike back, and how big would that be?
And there's that strength of Frank Tayu. Hugh Roberts felt that he was thrown to the ground, but Tayu just never giving up on the ball. You love to see that from a striker.
Corner coming in from Raul Gonzalez. Low and into the box and headed out of bounds. But another header, or I should say another corner coming after the ball apparently deflected off of Bethlehem.
And that was a great first ball driven in, looking for the player making the run at the near post and almost getting that flick on. It looks like there's going to be stoppage. Well, the referee is not happy with the extracurriculars in the penalty area.
You get a great look at all of that water that's accumulated in the low spots on the field.
Security did well, though, to come across on that first corner and get that flick on, forcing the ball out of bounds.
Sure did.
And so it's take two.
Gonzalez headed back toward the backside and a not well-timed strike.
But it's Sakiri again getting across and getting to that ball at the top corner of the six and heading that across. And Frank Tayu, player of his caliber, should bury that. That should be 2-1. And Bethlehem bossing possession at the moment, but that's not always the most important thing.
Bethlehem won, Richmond won on a Saturday evening from Goodman Stadium. Nike's an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, please visit NikeSoccer.com. Fairly early in the second half, But still lots of game in front of us. Wow, Bethlehem gets a chance to continuate here. A big chance. Kone rips a shot, deflected away. One of the lethal goal scorers in the USL denied at top of the box.
Kone did so well to hold up his run there, make sure that he wasn't offside. When he gets that ball, would love to see him take a touch to power it past his defender and see if he can beat him for pace. Richmond did well to recover. And then I love how Kone didn't give up on it, tracked it all the way back, but in the end was called for a foul.
By the way, we forgot to mention to you right at halftime that Braden Troyer, one of the defenders for Richmond, picked up a yellow card. He'd been playing left back for the Kickers in the first half, so he did pick up a yellow. 2 yellow cards issued to Richmond here this evening. Corey Burke, beautiful footwork on the outside. Kone calling for it. Instead, overly crossed to Fontana. Brian Carroll lays it off, and it's too tall. Fontana having a nightmarish evening. Several missed opportunities for him.
And you got to give him credit, though, for creating those opportunities, putting himself into the right spots, just unable to apply the finishing touches.
Substitution for Bethlehem Steel exiting the match, number 7, Brian Carroll.
All right, so Brian Carroll is leaving the field for Bethlehem Steel.
Entering in his place, number 38, Santi Moir.
And it will be Santi Moir who's taking his spot out there. Watch this from Corey Burke. Nope, not this time. Corey Burke is so shifty.
Love, though, how he picks his head up and instead of playing where everybody's expecting it, he pulls it back. It was rather in between 2 players. This is a nice layoff for Carroll, and the idea is there, just unable to pick out the far corner.
So Moir comes on. First name Santiago, but prefers to go by Santi, so we'll oblige. Richmond on the road. At this point, they'd love anything they can get. Wow. Richmond, I think, may have just bought something there with an award-winning performance. Corey Burke went in with a very clean-looking tackle, and Fred Owusu-Sakiri tried to jump over the moon.
He gets all ball on that. Whether or not he caught Owusu-Sakiri, it doesn't matter. It was a clean challenge.
Toward the backside. Dangerous place for Bethlehem Steel to possess it. That one with a lot of water splashed on the ball. It's a bad mistake. A diving save. Jake Mcguire with an incredible Johnny-on-the-spot save.
It's that high pressure of Richmond, though, forcing Bethlehem Steel into a turnover. That's how they scored their first goal and how they almost got the second one from Frank Tayu, but a great save by Jake Mcguire, arm outstretched.
Unbelievable good fortune for Bethlehem. They were beaten, but Mcguire was there. Sustained pressure, and Mcguire wants to give it away. That was a nice header by Aaron Jones as we get another look at this brilliant Save of the Week candidate.
Well, it's a great turn and shot from Tayu. It was well read by Mcguire. I think he did a great job to read where that ball was going, was able to take off early enough to get down. That's another corner kick, though. And Richmond, when they pressure up high and win the ball, they're putting Bethlehem into some very uncomfortable situations, and especially with Owusu-Sakiri coming across. He gets that flick on with Big Tayu in the middle. You never know what the end result's going to be.
Luis Fernando scored for Richmond in the 40th.
Substitution in the 63rd
Can he initiate the go-ahead goal for the Kickers here on the road? The corner played low and cleared away.
This time Richmond didn't have a player coming across to get that flick on.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Richmond, more sustained pressure. The defense holds. no flag went up, even though it looked like that ball went out of bounds. Richmond continues to possess. Big opportunity for Wyatt, who just checked in. And now Bethlehem Steel on the offensive, or maybe not. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and info on USLsoccer.com and on Twitter @USL. As head coach Brendan Burke looks on here at home for Bethlehem Steel FC. Bad pass, and it comes in a costly place. Matt Turner trying to come over and make amends for that. Richmond escapes, and now they quickly counter. Roberts has Mcguire pulled way out of the goal. Nauseum with a low cross. Bethlehem Steel with Sekou Kone waiting in the middle. Corey Burke lost it. That should be a throw-in for Steel FC, and it is. Corey Burke has been more on that left side here as the second half has progressed, even though he was playing in the top of the box the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, in the early part of the game, he was getting that service, as it's been starved of it, and Richmond doing a great job to cut off those interior passing lanes. He's coming out wide to find the ball, which is fine considering it. Oh, player just dropped there. I wonder if there was an elbow.
Foul called on Bethlehem.
I was going to say that. You see him pointing toward the assistant referee over on the near side saying, you saw that. A yellow card given.
It's Alex Lee. And the card issued.
I was going to say, for Burke, a player of his skill and his ability, it's not bad that his starting position is out wide. Many attacking players are very dangerous getting the ball in that position and cutting inside, but it's been one of those nights where he's put himself in good positions, and it's just that last pass, that last ball, or he takes a good shot and a teammate gets in the way.
So the yellow card given in the 66th minute. Bethlehem Steel at home commits another foul. And another card coming. It's a red card. Hugh Roberts has been sent off. And Bethlehem Steel will play down a man the rest of the match.
A red card has been assessed to Bethlehem Steel's number 42, Hugh Roberts.
The referee's going to say he came in with his stud showing. Have to take a look at it again. Coming in here and going for the ball. And he does have his foot over the ball, and his studs are showing. Don't know if that's enough to warrant a red card. By letter of the law, he's off because his foot is high over the ball and his studs are up. But a lot of referees would understand that situation. It's one of those where that ball gets away from you and you're just so hungry to win it back.
So Bethlehem Steel FC put in a chokehold here midway through the second half. Most of the players use this as an opportunity to hydrate. It's Samuel Asante who's down for Richmond, but again, by looking at the replay, I agree with you. I realize by the letter of the law, maybe it's warranted, but I didn't think Asante really got clipped that hard. And to be still laying on his back, certainly don't want to speculate about the injury, but it didn't look to be that egregious at first glance. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of ill will between the players on both teams, but a brutal blow and big loss for Bethlehem here midway through the second half.
Well, it's been kind of an odd game, starting with the weather forcing it to continually be pushed back, and then the worry about whether or not they'd be able to get it in before the sun sets, and a lot of chances for Bethlehem Steel early on. Give up the goal after not being able to score one themselves. First half able to come back, and much the same here in the second half as the first. Just like create a lot of chances, unable to finish, and now dealt another blow, this time not on the scoreboard, but in terms of man advantage, and Samuel Asante rather has to be carried off here. So, you know, even if Hugh Roberts didn't really catch him, the bottom line is anytime you get scraped with metal studs, it's gonna hurt. So you hope that Asante is able to continue here, but certainly needed help to get off the field. Asante's been in this league a long time. He's gone through a ton of challenges. He's not a player to embellish. And unfortunately for Fontana, he's the man that's going to get sacrificed in this man-down situation.
Well, we certainly wish the best to Samuel Asante. Hope that he's okay. We'll keep our eye as best we can on how the rest of this plays out. Bethlehem 1, Richmond 1, in a game that started an hour and a half late in Eastern PA. Alongside Mark Serber, I'm Brendan Gulick. Glad to have you on board for a Saturday night game that has suddenly become a showdown, attracting a lot of attention across the league. The Richmond Kickers, who are in a real funk, and Bethlehem Steel, one of the hottest teams in the league, and this has become a really good affair.
And now the question is, will Lee Collishaw's side go for the kill? Will they really press and try and find this winner and get off the schneid? Or will they be happy with a point against the Bethlehem team that's been unbeaten in their last 5?
Boy, Bethlehem just feels like every single call is going against them. You can see that Alex Lee is completely soaked. Looks like he went down a slip and slide.
I thought he jumped into a swimming pool just behind that end line.
Can't imagine that was a particularly clean puddle of water. So a free kick awarded to Richmond. And it comes about as deep as humanly possible in the offensive end. An opportunity for the Kickers to take the lead on the road. Played in, headed toward the back of the post. And Owusu Sekiri off target.
But once again, it's Sekiri getting toward the near post and getting the flick on. And you wonder how come Bethlehem Steel hasn't wised up to it yet.
Sustained pressure given away after the ball was pulled out by Sekou Kone. Usually you see much more active on the other half of the field.
Now Richmond just doing such a good job at the moment to step into the passing lanes and cut out any of the outlet balls. Another substitution being made, this for the visitors.
Real fires it in. Brendan Burke throwing his arms up in the air, palms facing north, frustrated with no call. Instead, it's Richmond driving, and the ball was driven right to Jake Mcguire. He's there to make the stop.
Kickers exiting the game, number 28, Samuel Asante.
Fans, we hope you'll stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from all across the league on our weekly show, USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. Comes your way Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 85. Don't forget, they'll air the USL Game of the Week too. Check USLsoccer.com for all the dates and times. Kickers on the near side. Fernando lays it back. Remember, Bethlehem playing down a man the rest of the game after the red card to Hugh Roberts in the 67th. At this point, Bethlehem is just trying not to give up another goal. Fernando. Troyer. Another look. Dips it off. Not touched well as it looked for the back post. A missed opportunity there for Imura, who checked in a little bit ago.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information.
Well, that's kind of a microcosm right there of Richmond's season. Getting into good positions and unable to apply that finishing touch. That's a great position And we're looking for that far post, couldn't bend it. For Bethlehem, even though they're they're down a man, being the home side and the run that they're on, they're going to want to try and get all 3 points, but they're just being pinned in by the Kickers right now, or throwing everything at them.
Over and over again, Richmond pressing deep in the offensive end. Looked like Udaya Imura was the one that came on for a Samuel Asante. Imura, Japanese national. Played toward the near side. Troyer back to Imura. A low cross deflected away, and Udai is definitely making his presence known here in his first few minutes out on the pitch. Bethlehem trying to rely on their defense. At this point, they almost feel like it's a countdown clock. There's probably somewhere in the ballpark of 20 minutes remaining before the final whistle will blow.
Richmond with all 10 outfield players in the opposing half, but they need to move the ball a lot quicker from side to side against the very compact Bethlehem Steel defense.
Trying to attack from the outside, laid across, and it's too tall. Imura was definitely there, but the ball played across, not on target.
Well, you have 3 players to find in the middle. They're all around the penalty spot, and you put that in the air and up over to the back post rather than pulling that back along the ground. And once again, they're working themselves into good positions. It's just that final decision that's been lacking from the Richmond Kickers.
Right, just didn't make a whole lot of sense. And the foul gives Richmond a free kick.
It's one of those things, you have the composure, you pick your head up, you'll find them in the middle, but there you're thinking, oh my God, I'm in a great position, I gotta get it across, and you're playing it blindly.
Owusu Sakiri leads it off.
I have to say though, I love Imura's movement, his willingness to find the ball. That's not the best touch though.
This ball played ahead. Nanko spins around. That was pretty well defended. Excellent recovery from Malin Roberts. Bethlehem Steel right now as a unit has had that defeated look. It's been a little bit of a challenging mental second half despite the goal to tie things up.
Well, they have players forward here, but you wonder about their intent. You kind of see it. Menko gets the ball, gets forward on a counter opportunity, but nobody else really joining him. So that lets me know that they're more worried about sitting back and make sure they don't get a sucker punch from Richmond.
Corey Burke wanted to take one from deep. He stuck in there behind to steal the ball away, but his shot was blocked before it ever got into a dangerous spot. Kone advancing. Rather, that's not Kone, but Trusty. Austin Trusty wins the corner.
That's great work from Trusty, because that was all the center back could do. It was his only option. Otherwise, try and get it to Burke, who's 1-on-4 in the middle. And this way, you get the ball and you can get players into the box. Right now, there's a player struggling for Bethlehem Steel.
That's Sekou Kone, who's down with his right leg extended. And medical attention is being whistled on. Hopefully he's okay. In the meantime, we'd like to remind you that Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. And for more information, we encourage you to visit NikeSoccer.com. A delayed start tonight because of a nasty, and I mean nasty, band of thunderstorms that rolled through eastern Pennsylvania. A game scheduled for a 5 o'clock kick did not get underway until 6:30. And we are butting up against a little bit of daylight. there's no doubt this game will finish on time, barring anything highly unusual. Richmond hasn't won since late April. They hadn't led a game since late May. It was a rough month of June for the Richmond Kickers. As Sekou Kone comes off for just a moment, which puts a little bit more pressure on Bethlehem Steel, playing with 9 at the moment. On the corner. Deep, and Trusty got a great look. His second opportunity, he pulled it wide. Unbelievable. Austin Trusty with his third opportunity of the game. Just not his day.
A great job by Trusty to get up and win this header. Perfectly placed downward header. It's a great first save, and trying to get it through a lot of white jerseys there on the line, and pulls it wide in the end. But that's just an excellent effort to even win that first ball, and it was excellent technique as well. And the second one, unlucky. He didn't even put it on target, though. You feel that it would have hit one of those 2 defenders stationed on the line.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall of the conversation Trusty's having with himself. Can Richmond reverse the fortunes? Maybe take advantage here on this end of the field.
This is just one of those games where you don't know which way it's going to go. When you think that Richmond has in the bag as the likely team to score the next goal, all of a sudden the Bethlehem Steel come back and create an opportunity like that. Really, anything can happen as we head into these final 10 minutes.
Fontana, Carroll, and Herbers had all started the game, and all have been subbed off. The free kick is awarded to Bethlehem. Did not make mention earlier, but Matt Mahoney came in to replace Anthony Fontana. So some reinforcements up front. You get Sekou Kone still being worked on there as his right knee is being taped up. Bethlehem's been playing 2 men down here for a couple of minutes. They almost scored a moment ago. Can they come up with some late magic? And that one, Turner's out to make saves like that.
That was excellent distribution as well. And Fernando's been excellent for Richmond down this left-hand side, cutting into the middle now.
Richmond running out of chances to put this one away on the road. Imura into the corner. Service played with way too much touch. Kept alive for a moment by Wyatt. Touch back into the middle, and Fernando had a decent look, but well off target.
I'm enjoying Imura, though. A lot of movement, gets the ball, quickly plays it off, and then looks for a new space to run into. It's creating a lot of opportunities for Richmond since coming in.
I agree with you. Saying that we're enjoying him is probably the most accurate way to say it. He's inserted himself into the game in a big way. Realizing that he basically came on for Samuel Asante, who left with an injury. Bethlehem Steel's fan base is starting to get a little bit restless with all the calls that have gone against them tonight.
And that's on top of an hour-and-a-half wait for this game to kick off.
And yet, Bethlehem Steel is still there. Richmond to the near side. Fernando patiently looking. I think at this point, Mark, Bethlehem's okay with trying to take a draw. It's a matter of just don't lose a point at home. Played across, Imura. Still alive. Rips one deflected. Nanko got it out of harm's way. Nanko's not going to be able to catch up to that one. Good to see Sekou Kone back on the pitch, though. Although you can see him at the top of your screen, he is really hobbling.
If he's able to play that ball with the outside of his foot so it spins back into the path of the runner, there's an opportunity for a breakaway here. If Bethlehem Steel are going to steal this one, it's going to be on the counterattack.
Finlay Wyatt on the give and go. Fernando back across, well defended. Excellent job working as a cohesive unit there for Bethlehem. Nike's an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, please visit NikeSoccer.com. Somehow, miraculously, there was no foul called there.
Well, Usu Sakari has really affected this game in so many ways. He's been one of the best players for Richmond. This man, Fernando, just gets more and more confidence each time he's on the ball.
Usu Sakiri plays it forward, and he nearly penetrated that Navy wall. Another opportunity. Lob to the near side. Aaron Jones heads it back. Boy, Jake Mcguire, when he saw that E. Roberts was being sent off in the 67th minute, he immediately knew how much more important his role in this game would be. And in the 18 minutes since that red card, Mcguire hasn't budged.
Both goalkeepers have made excellent saves today. And it's 1-1, but this could very well be a 3-3 game right now.
Well done. Al just sort of patiently waiting rather than aggressively going after that ball. Nanko forced to play ahead because Kone just doesn't have it right now, playing injured. Nanko has it pulled away as Kone is sort of limp sprinting after the ball. Richmond on the attack. Fernando, too much. Sent across, but sustained pressure. Entering the 87th minute, Bethlehem clears it away. USL is one of the most prominent second division leagues in the world, with games, top talent, and rising stars sprinkled throughout the more than 30 weeks of the regular season. Stay up to date with all the latest news and information across the league on USLsoccer.com and on Twitter @USL.
We have to give a lot of credit to Kone for soldiering through this match. Got hurt after the Steel had used up all their subs. So he's just,
and not to mention playing down a man after all of those subs have been used. So his inability at the moment is really lacking. It's magnified a bit.
And it's just another one of those things that's gone against Bethlehem this afternoon, because there are a couple times where a healthy Kone is going to link up with Manko when he runs forward with the ball on those counter opportunities.
One of the top 5 scorers in the league with 7 goals on the year. A couple of them were right place, right time, but a couple of Sekou Kone's goals were unbelievable.
Even so, right place, right time. It takes a good striker to put themselves in that spot.
A beautiful ball played ahead, and it's just a little undercut from Finlay Wyatt. But a corner kick coming, and Richmond is just not going to let up. We hope you'll stay up to date on the latest news and information from around the league by tuning into our weekly show Monday nights, USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. They will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check online, USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Good punch from the keeper there.
Wyatt plays it back in. A low cross that skips in. Popped away. Bethlehem Steel at home, honestly trying to play for a tie. Doesn't mean they wouldn't take advantage of an opportunity, but they'll feel good about leaving this game with 1 point. And given that Bethlehem is in far better position than Richmond in the Eastern Conference standings, Bethlehem Steel will take the 1 point. They are 2 points behind the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but they have 2 games in hand entering the night on Tampa Bay. Bethlehem in 4th place in the conference. The top 8 make the conference, or I should say make the USL playoffs. The top 4 will host games in the conference tournaments.
And it's all about just getting into those playoffs and making sure that you're peaking at the right time. Last year in the Western Conference, Orange County sneaked in on the final day of the season as the 8th place team and went on to beat Sacramento Republic in a shootout in the first game of the conference playoffs.
Oklahoma City went on the road to Rio Grande Valley, down 2-1 in the 90-plus 3rd minute, scored, and then in the 90-plus 6th minute, scored again and won the game 3-2.
So who was their coach, Sir Alex Ferguson, or?
The Oklahoma City, I should say the OKC Energy FC just sort of escaped with a huge win on the road. Wojcik played a huge role in that match, as did Colin Bonner. A couple of those headers. Back in Bethlehem, though, where we almost enter stoppage time here.
Oh, and that one played behind. Otherwise, 4 players were flying through for the Steel. It was an opportunity lost, but go forward. And I'll tell you, this referee is going to have to get out of Dodge pretty quickly after this game.
Yeah, there was 5 minutes of stoppage time added on, you're right.
5 minutes of stoppage time.
I'm not saying his calls were necessarily wrong. I'm just saying he's not popular with the crowd.
Yeah, nobody's buying his dinner at restaurants after the game in the local Bethlehem area. And another booking looks like it's coming.
Oh, it's another golden opportunity for Richmond.
For as much as Bethlehem would feel like they could get out of here with a draw and be in good shape, Richmond has to go, what in the world do we have to do to win a game?
Number 26, Austin Trusty.
Austin Trusty issued the yellow.
Card assessed in the 90th minute.
Very difficult day just continues. Several misses from really close, and now a late caution.
I think days like this, though, are excellent for the youngsters. Take a look, and there's the foul, but you know, you have to learn how to deal with adversity at the professional level and how to play and how to keep your mind about you when everything is going against you. It seems that way from the weather to the referee on occasion to the bounces that they're getting. So great learning experience for a player like Austin Trusty this afternoon.
Fred Owusu Sakiri. He is from Ghana, played his college soccer at VCU. Can he give Richmond a huge goal late in the game? It's Imura instead. And Mcguire there to make the save.
Well, Imura does the first part right, getting it up and over the wall, but it's just the placement that's lacking. You know, Richmond have done an excellent job in their build-up play. It's just the end product.
Imura's chip ahead leads to a cross in a dangerous place, and nobody was there. The cross may have been slightly off target, but nevertheless.
It's another time where that ball needs to be pulled back rather than played across. You need to know where your trailing players are and what kind of runs they're making.
Santi Mawada can't hold possession. Instead, now a foul whistled against Nauseum. Richmond wasting no time. Fernando. Bethlehem's played a man down for 25 minutes, but they haven't allowed a goal. Kone touches it right back. Now he's got to race after the ball. And he goes down in a tangled mess. Another stoppage as Kone got into a tough spot.
It's an interesting challenge there as he leaves his feet, flying into the defender. He was lucky to escape some punishment.
Not only that, but especially considering the injury he suffered earlier in the game. I'm sure Wyatt wishes he had that one back. We're in the 90+4. This game may extend a little longer than 95 total minutes because of a couple of the stoppages here in stoppage time itself. Santi Mcguire keeps his feet. Breaks toward the middle. Mcguire just turned away at the last minute.
A good solid defending, standing his ground and then waiting for Mcguire to just show a bit too much of it before poking it away. Well, that would have been a sensational individual effort.
Bethlehem clearly just taking their time on their way up the field. Kone trying to kill it in the corner. Something you don't usually see in the offensive end. Now he makes a big move. And Sekou Kone taken down in the box. No call. Bethlehem fans are on their feet screaming at the officiating as the foul is whistled the other way. Another caution coming. Corey Burke with his second.
A yellow card and substitute.
And he's gone.
Red card given to Bethlehem Steel's number 41, Corey Burke.
Well, that's why they wanted the ball in the corner to stop a counterattack, and fans will feel that they should have gotten a penalty there after it was great work from Kone. And then Burke getting back had to commit the tactical foul. I don't think the referee had much of a choice but to show him a second yellow.
Burke's first yellow came in the 65th. He will not play in the next USL game for Bethlehem Steel, but remember, he is about to join the Jamaican national team for Gold Cup, so his next game may not be for a while.
Well, Burke's played well tonight. He's created some excellent opportunities. Got the ball in the center a few times, and then once that was cut off, he started drifting out wide to get the ball.
And there it is. We have reached full time. Bethlehem Steel FC miraculously escapes with a 1-1 draw and a point at home. Richmond played up a man for 25 to 28 minutes in the second half and could not come up with a go-ahead goal, even though the Kickers struck early in the 40th minute on Luis Fernando's first goal of the season. The Kickers still do not win a game since April 22nd. Each team earns a point in the Eastern Conference.
It was one of those games that either team could have stole it. Both teams had chances, just unable to finish them. And it's kind of a game that goes in tune with the rest of the day, with this game getting delayed, thunderstorms and weather. It feels like just threw everybody off of rhythm.
Not exactly how Bethlehem Steel hoped it would go, but at least they escaped with a point at home. When we come back, we'll have highlights and final numbers for you. Bethlehem Steel and Richmond end in a 1-1 draw at Goodman Stadium.
For today's match, and we look forward to seeing you again on July 9th when Bethlehem Steel FC returns to Goodman
You've lived with
Stadium.
it for too long. That recurring joint or muscle pain that makes everyday tasks a strain and repetitive movement almost impossible. Why put it off? The sooner you seek treatment, the more options you'll have. The faster you'll be back in full stride. The latest non-surgical solutions. The region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
This summer, plan a getaway to Hershey Park and enjoy more than 70 rides, including 13 coasters and 14 water attractions. Plus, take advantage of free Hershey Park benefits, like 1-hour early ride access when you stay over at the Natural Resorts of Hershey Park. Plus, if you go to Service Electric's website, sectv.com, and click on the link and like us on Facebook, you'll be entered to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Hershey Park. But you better hurry since this promotion is only available until July 15th. Hershey Park and Service Electric teaming up to bring you the best summer ever.
The Philadelphia Union are off to the races. And Philadelphia have the lead. Here it is. Oh, what a beauty! Just 2 minutes on the board and a perfect start for the Union.
For tickets, visit PhiladelphiaUnion.com.
Final score, Bethlehem Steel 1, Richmond 1 in a soggy, saturated night in eastern Pennsylvania. Here's a look at your highlights from this evening's game, beginning with a big goal from Richmond. They finally led a game for the first time in a month.
Well, Richmond had been on the back foot for so much of this half, but they win the ball high up the field, and this just a great ball slid through for Fernando, and he made no mistake. They win the ball, 4 or 5 touches, sliding this ball across, perfectly weighted, and Fernando applying the finish.
Bethlehem Steel just repeatedly tried to answer, and it took them a while before they could finally get that opportunity. They had a great opportunity here on this free kick after Anthony Fontana maybe sold that one a little bit.
Jones steps up and world class curls it over the wall and out of reach of the keeper. A deserved equalizer for Bethlehem Steel.
Aaron Jones with his first and only goal of the season. It came in a big, big way. While we didn't see any goals the rest of the way, it's not that we didn't have any excitement. Check out this save from Jake Mcguire. You'll see this on highlight reels the rest of the season.
That was a great turn from Tayo and a perfectly placed shot, but Mcguire getting across his goal well to make the save. And he was impressive tonight, especially as the Bethlehem Steel were put on the back foot after going down a man.
Another big opportunity here as the game continued to unfold. This is where the red card came, and we are going to see several fouls and cautions the rest of the game. All of them favored the visiting side in Richmond. Austin Trusty nearly gave Bethlehem Steel FC the lead back. He had a few missed opportunities from close by as Imura put one on net. But again, at the end of this game, Mark, it basically came down to the fact that Richmond just couldn't put it in the net when they played up a man for nearly half an hour.
Well, they put themselves into great positions, but just unable to get that last finish. Some of their crosses were wayward and decisions were a bit off, but I think that Richmond will feel aggrieved that they weren't able to leave with all 3 points. So we take a look at the stats, and in the first half, it was all Bethlehem Steel in terms of possession, but then after going down to 10 men, the Richmond Kickers able to overtake. It's no surprise, but they're offside 5 times, which just shows that their offense is a bit out of sync at the moment, and that's the reason they weren't able to go ahead and grab this game. 16 shots for both sides. Just lets you know that either side could have come away with all 3 points in this one.
Bethlehem Steel with their second draw of the year at home and in 2 consecutive games. Their last one was a draw at home against Ottawa back on Sunday, June 4th. The Bethlehem Steel FC goes to 7-6-2 on the season. Richmond now 2-8-6 overall. So Richmond picks up a point. They've still got a steep hill to climb. Bethlehem Steel maintains that stronghold on the 4th spot in the Eastern Conference. And even though a disappointment for them today, they at least stay in good standing.
And real winners are the fans for sticking this one out and seeing a great game. And in the end, Jones a free kick, and that was worth waiting for.
So a 1-1 final in Bethlehem today. Each team picks up a point. For our producer, Ryan Rose, our director, Miranda McCormick, Erickson Mullen was on replay. For Mark Serber, I'm Brendan Gulick. Good night from Eastern PA, where Bethlehem and Richmond play to a draw.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.